Here at the very top of our world lies a land of extremes. It is a place of immense silence, a wilderness that stretches farther than the eye can see. The wind is the true ruler here. It carves the snow into fantastic shapes and whispers secrets across the frozen plains. This is the far north. For half the year, the sun never sets. For the other half, it never rises. It is a world of dramatic change, a place of both endless light and perpetual darkness. The creatures that live here are specialists, masters of survival, shaped by this powerful and unforgiving land. The air is thin and sharp. It bites at any exposed skin. The cold is a constant presence, seeping into everything. But you know, there is a profound beauty in this emptiness. The landscape is a canvas of white and blue, and the sky is vast and open. It feels as if you are standing on the edge of the planet, looking out into the cosmos. Here, time itself seems to move differently. The days and nights are not measured by the clock, but by the slow, patient turn of the earth. This rhythm dictates the very pulse of life. In this great stillness, every sound is amplified. The crunch of snow underfoot, the distant call of a bird, the soft sigh of the wind as it moves across the ice. It is a language of its own, a language that speaks of patience and endurance. The animals that call this place home understand it well. They listen to the subtle shifts in the air and watch the slow movement of the shadows. Their lives are a delicate dance with the elements. They must be constantly aware, constantly ready for what the wilderness will bring next. Before the great change comes, there is a hush. The world seems to hold its breath. The land awaits the long sleep of winter or the sudden burst of summer. It is a moment of pure suspense, a feeling that something profound is about to happen. The sun hangs low on the horizon, a final glowing ember, or, after months of darkness, the first hint of light appears, a faint promise of the dawn to come. This is the moment of transition, the turning point in the endless cycle of polar day and polar night. Then the sun begins its long, slow climb. It does not set. It circles the sky in a lazy, endless loop. This is the polar day, the midnight sun. For months there is no night. The world is bathed in a perpetual, gentle light. The shadows stretch and shrink, but they never disappear completely into darkness. The landscape is transformed. The brilliant white of the snow begins to recede, and patches of dark earth and resilient green moss emerge. The ice on the rivers and lakes groans and cracks, breaking apart into a mosaic of floating blue shapes. This constant daylight brings a surge of energy to the frozen land. It is a time of incredible activity. Life, which has been dormant for so long, bursts forth with astonishing speed. Tiny flowers, small but vibrant, push their way through the thawing ground. They bloom quickly. Their faces turn towards the ever-present sun. Insects buzz in the cool air. Their time is short, and they must make the most of this brief window of opportunity. The entire ecosystem awakens, driven by the relentless, life-giving light that fills every corner of the wilderness. The quality of the light is extraordinary. It is not the harsh, direct light of a midday sun in the tropics. It is softer, more golden. In what should be the middle of the night, the sun hangs low, casting a warm, ethereal glow across the tundra. The colors are subtle and rich, the blues of the ice, the greens of the new growth, the browns of the exposed earth. Everything seems to shimmer in this magical 24-hour day. The world feels alive, vibrant, and filled with a quiet, humming energy that resonates through the very air. For the animals, this is a time of plenty, a time to feast and raise their young. The constant daylight allows them to forage around the clock. There is no need to rest when darkness falls, because darkness never comes. This abundance is a stark contrast to the scarcity of the long winter, but it also brings its own challenges. There is no cloak of darkness to hide from predators. There is no quiet time to rest unseen. Every creature must adapt to this new reality, a world without the familiar rhythm of day and night. The wildlife of the far north has developed remarkable ways to cope with this endless day. Many animals simply adjust their internal clocks. They rest when they are tired, and they are active when they need to be, regardless of the sun's position in the sky. Reindeer or caribou graze continuously. They move in vast herds across the tundra, their bodies fueled by the constant supply of fresh vegetation. They must build up their fat reserves for the long, hard winter that they know will eventually return. The constant light allows them to feed without interruption. Birds arrive in their millions. The Arctic becomes a vast, noisy nursery. Migratory species like snow geese and Arctic terns have traveled thousands of miles to be here. They come for the explosion of insect life and the safety of the wide open spaces. They build their nests on the ground, in plain sight. The 24-hour daylight allows them to watch for predators, like the cunning Arctic fox, at all times. Both parents can take turns incubating the eggs and searching for food, ensuring their young have the best possible start in this brief, bountiful season. Even the creatures of the water respond to the sun that never sets. The melting ice reveals a rich ocean beneath. Plankton blooms in the sunlit surface waters, creating a feast for fish and marine mammals. Whales, such as the beluga and the narwhal, move into the newly opened channels and bays. They feast on the abundance of cod and other fish. Their white bodies are perfectly camouflaged against the floating ice. They surface in the strange, golden light of midnight, their breath hanging in the cold, still air. Life is everywhere, from the smallest plankton to the largest whale. But this constant activity comes at a cost. The pressure to breed and feed is intense. There is a sense of urgency in the air. The summer is short, and every moment of light must be used. Animals may become exhausted from the constant foraging and vigilance. The lack of a true night can disrupt natural rhythms, creating a unique kind of stress. Survival here is not just about enduring the cold. It is about managing energy, seizing opportunities, and navigating a world where the fundamental cycle of day and night has been completely upended. For the Arctic fox, the endless day is a time of great opportunity. After the lean months of winter, the tundra is now a well-stocked larder. The fox has shed its thick white winter coat for a thinner brown or grey one. This new coat provides perfect camouflage against the summer landscape of rock and earth. This small, resourceful predator is constantly on the move. Its keen senses are always alert. It patrols its territory tirelessly, searching for its next meal. The 24-hour daylight means the hunt never has to stop. The fox's primary targets are the small rodents of the tundra, the lemmings. The lemming population booms in the summer, and they are the foundation of the Arctic food web. The fox can hear them scurrying in their tunnels beneath the moss. It will stand perfectly still, head cocked, listening intently. Then, with a sudden, spectacular leap, it pounces. It dives headfirst into the soft ground, emerging moments later with a lemming in its jaws. This is a skill honed over generations, a perfect adaptation to its environment. But lemmings are not the only food source. The fox is an opportunist. It will raid the nests of ground-nesting birds, snatching eggs and chicks when the parents are distracted. This is a risky business. The parent birds, like the fierce Arctic tern, will defend their nests aggressively. They dive bomb the fox, pecking at its head with their sharp beaks. It is a dramatic battle of survival. The fox needs the food to feed its own pups, waiting in a den dug into the side of a sandy hill. The birds are desperate to protect their own young. The pups are the reason for this frantic activity. The vixen, the female fox, gives birth in the early summer. She must provide a constant supply of food for her growing family. The abundance of the polar day is crucial for their survival. The whole family works together. The male fox, the dog, also hunts, bringing food back to the den. The young pups play outside the den entrance, learning the skills they will need to survive on their own. The midnight sun shines down on them, illuminating their first tentative steps into this vast and challenging world. After months of relentless light, there's this subtle change that begins to creep in. The sun, which has been circling high above for so long, starts to dip lower, and for the first time in what feels like ages, it actually touches the horizon. The moment is brief, just a few minutes, and then it rises again. But it's a sign, a clear one. The long polar day is coming to an end. With each passing cycle, the sun spends a little more time below the horizon. The shadows, which had been short and fleeting all summer, now grow long and dark. They stretch across the tundra like grasping fingers. The quality of the light changes once more. The golden glow of the midnight sun is replaced by these deep reds and purples of a prolonged twilight. Sunsets and sunrises become truly spectacular, lasting for hours. The sky turns into this breathtaking canvas of color. The land is bathed in a soft, melancholy light. It's a time of transition and, departure. The air grows colder. The first hints of frost start to appear on the leaves of the dwarf willows, and a new stillness, a kind of quiet preparation for what's to come, begins to settle over the land. The animals feel the change too. It's a deep instinctual knowledge. The migratory birds feel the pull to leave. They gather in great flocks, their calls echoing across the cooling plains. They've raised their young, and now they must begin their long journey south to warmer climates. One by one, the flocks take to the sky, leaving a profound silence in their wake. The Arctic, which was so full of noise and activity just weeks before, becomes quieter each day. The urgency of summer is replaced by a sense of impending finality. The reindeer herds also begin their migration. They move away from the high tundra, seeking the shelter of the boreal forests to the south. They've spent the summer fattening up on the rich vegetation, and now they must conserve that energy for the winter ahead. Their hooves click on the hardening ground as they travel in long, winding lines. They follow ancient routes, passed down through generations. They know that the snow is coming. They know that the great darkness is not far behind. It is a race against time, a race against the approaching winter. The day comes when the sun dips below the horizon and does not reappear. It's the beginning of the polar night. At first, there's still a period of twilight for a few hours around noon, a faint, ghostly light that emanates from just below the horizon. It casts the world in shades of deep blue and purple, but even this faint glow fades away, and soon the land is plunged into a darkness that will last for months. The only light comes from the moon, the stars, and the ethereal dance of the aurora borealis. The landscape is once again transformed. Snow returns, blanketing everything in a thick, soft layer. The world becomes a study in monochrome: white snow, black rock, and the grey sky. The wind howls across the empty plains, sculpting the snow into sharp ridges and deep drifts. The cold becomes intense, a physical presence that freezes the very moisture in the air. The silence is absolute, broken only by the sound of the wind or the distant crack of shifting ice. It is a world that seems honestly hostile to life. This is the time of the great sleep for some. The Arctic ground squirrel, a true hibernator, has already retreated to its burrow deep beneath the frost line. Its body temperature will drop to just below freezing, and its heart will beat only a few times per minute. It's in a state of suspended animation, just waiting for the sun's return. Other creatures, like the brown bear, also enter a state of dormancy, though not a true hibernation. They find a den and sleep through the worst of the cold and darkness, living off the fat they stored during the summer. But for many, life must go on. The darkness doesn't mean the end of activity. It simply means that the rules of the game have changed. Survival now depends on different senses. Hearing and smell become more important than sight. The hunt must take place in near total blackness, and the prey must find food beneath a thick blanket of snow. It's a test of endurance and adaptation. The polar night is the ultimate challenge. Only the most resilient and well-adapted creatures can survive it. In the endless dark, the world is experienced through sound. Every noise travels for miles in the cold, dense air. There's the soft whoosh of an owl's wings as it glides silently over the snow, the faint scratching sound of a lemming moving in its tunnel deep beneath the surface, and the low grunt of a muskox, a warning to its herd. The animals that are active during the polar night are honestly masters of this soundscape. They listen for the subtle clues that mean the difference between finding a meal and becoming one. The silence itself is a presence, a vast canvas upon which these small sounds are painted. The Arctic fox is one such master. Its white winter coat makes it nearly invisible against the snow. It relies on its extraordinary hearing to hunt, and it can pinpoint the exact location of a lemming moving under several feet of snow. The fox will leap high into the air, a ghostly white shape against the dark sky, and plunge down through the snowpack. This is a hunt based on faith and precision. The fox cannot see its prey. It must trust its ears completely. It's a remarkable display of adaptation to a world without light. The reindeer that remain in the north have their own set of adaptations. They have special eyes that change in the winter. The part of the eye that reflects light, the tapetum lucidum, becomes a deep blue. This makes their eyes incredibly sensitive to the low light levels of the polar night, allowing them to see in the faint glow of the moon and the aurora. They use their strong hooves to dig through the snow, a technique called cratering, as they search for the lichens and dried vegetation that will sustain them through the long months of darkness. Even the landscape seems to make its own sounds. The sea ice groans and cracks as it shifts with the tides, sometimes as loud as a thunderclap, echoing for miles across the frozen ocean. Glaciers calve, sending huge chunks of ice crashing into the sea with a deafening roar. The wind is a constant companion. It moans around the rocks and whistles across the open plains. It is a world that is far from silent. It's filled with the powerful elemental sounds of a planet at its most raw and untamed. The polar bear is the undisputed king of this winter kingdom. While other animals struggle, the polar bear thrives. The polar night is its prime hunting season. The bear is a marine mammal, and its life is tied to the sea ice. As the ocean freezes over, the bear's hunting ground expands. It can travel for hundreds of miles across the frozen sea, searching for the breathing holes used by seals. The darkness is its ally. Its white coat provides the perfect camouflage in the moonlit snowy landscape. The hunt is a game of immense patience. The polar bear can smell a seal from nearly 20 miles away. It will locate a breathing hole in the ice and wait. It can wait for hours or even days perfectly still in the biting cold. Its body is a fortress against the elements, a thick layer of blubber and a dense, water-repellent coat keep it warm. When a seal surfaces for air, the bear strikes with incredible speed and power. A single blow from its massive paw is often enough. This is the meal it needs to survive the winter. Pregnant female polar bears are the exception. They do not hunt during the winter. In the autumn, they dig a maternity den in a deep snowdrift. Inside this sheltered cave, they will give birth to their tiny, helpless cubs. They will live off their fat reserves while they nurse their young. The den protects them from the extreme cold and the howling winds. The mother and cubs will not emerge until the spring, when the sun returns and the cubs are strong enough to face the Arctic world. It is an act of incredible endurance. The male bears and non-pregnant females remain active throughout the winter. They are solitary wanderers in the vast, dark expanse. They are perfectly suited to this environment. Their large, fur-covered paws act like snowshoes, distributing their weight so they can walk on the snow without sinking. The rough pads on their feet provide grip on the slippery ice. They are the ultimate survivors of the polar night, a symbol of the power and resilience of life in the face of the most extreme conditions on Earth. Then, after months of darkness, the first glimmer of light returns. It is a moment of profound significance. A faint glow appears on the southern horizon. It lasts for just a few minutes, but it is enough. It is a promise. The sun is coming back. Each day, the period of twilight grows longer. The colors return to the sky. The deep blues of the night give way to soft pinks and oranges. The land, which has been locked in ice and shadow, begins to awaken from its long slumber. The return of the sun triggers a chain reaction. The polar bear cubs emerge from their den with their mother blinking in the new light. The reindeer feel the warmth and begin their migration back to the tundra. The ice begins to melt and the migratory birds start their long journey north once more. The cycle is beginning again. The transition from polar night to polar day is as dramatic and as powerful as the transition from day to night. It is a rebirth of the entire ecosystem. To witness these extremes is to understand something fundamental about our planet. It is to see the incredible adaptability of life. The creatures of the far north are not just survivors, they are masters of their environment. They have evolved in perfect harmony with this cycle of endless light and endless darkness. Their lives are a testament to the power of nature to find a way, even in the most challenging places. The Arctic fox, the reindeer, the polar bear, they are all part of this magnificent, enduring story. The polar regions remain one of the last great wildernesses on Earth. They are places of stark beauty, profound silence, and deep mystery. They remind us of the immense power and fragility of the natural world. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, beginning its long circling journey of the polar day, the land once again fills with life and energy. The great cycle continues, as it has for millennia, an endless, rhythmic dance of light and darkness at the very top of our world.